Hey friends, welcome to a historic day in the theme park community. Today, April 9th, will be very historic as we have full confirmation that Universal Destinations and Experiences will be building their latest theme park, their next big project here in the UK. Now, this is going to be located in Kempston Hardwick in Bedford, so not too far outside of London. You've got close transportation networks. They have released a letter to locals, and they've also released some concept art today along with all of the news articles out there. So what I'm going to go through, we're going to go through the concept art. We're going to kind of try and explain a little bit of what I see, and then I'll read out the letter to you, and then we can kind of speculate as to what is happening. So if you enjoyed the video throughout, give thumbs up, do appreciate it. It helps us out so much. It'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. This is Universal Studios Great Britain. So as you can see from the concept art up on the screen now, and Universal are pretty good with their concept art as well. So down in the bottom right corner, we've got the Universal Globe, we've got the arches, and kind of a little bit of an entrance way there. We go through the arches and we've got a courtyard with a little fountain and what kind of looks a little bit like Main Street USA, for lack of a better word. Or if you've been to Universal Studios Hollywood, it's got a similar vibe to that as you walk through Production Central there. It's kind of lost a little bit in Orlando at the moment. It doesn't really feel like that because you've got Minion Land. On the left hand side there, that looks to be a hotel, because you've got the little car park there. You've got the hotel sort of arching around the top left of the main entranceway, and it goes what seemingly is all the way down Production Central and the boulevard there. What I think will happen here is the majority of the hotel will be located on floors like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you'll have on the ground floor and the first floor, that will be basically shops. So they don't lose any shops, because who would want a big corporation to lose money, right? But we'll still get the hotel there as well. It's an interesting design. And just, this is quite funny because Universal are pretty good with their concept art. So we should really be very close to this. Opposite the hotel there, we've got what looks to be an indoor ride. So I'm thinking this could be something like, like Twister or Lights, Camera, Action that we saw at Universal Studios Beijing, like an indoor kind of Hollywood stunt show of sorts, the behind the scenes vibe to it. As we then go up, we go out onto the promenade and we see the lakefront. What we're going to do is we're going to go anti-clockwise around, because this is where I'm kind of most confident on what we have to offer here. So coming up, you've got what looks to be a roller coaster on top of the building. I'm thinking this whole area is going to be Minion Land, Super Silly Fun Land. This is very, very reminiscent of Universal Studios Beijing. It looks near on identical to what it is in Universal Studios Beijing. So inside that building where the roller coaster is, in Beijing, that's not actually a roller coaster, it's a facade. Inside the building is a roller coaster and a small flat ride as well. They call it Super Silly Fun Land, like from the Minions films, Despicable Me films. And then they've got shops and restaurants around. And then just off to the right-hand side, right on the far side of the concept art, that is where you've got Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. So I'm speculating we will get Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem again, which is unfortunate because it's a reskinned ride that is now in every single park in the world. We can ride it in Orlando, etc. But we might get some more stuff in Minion Land. Now, just coming slightly out of Minion Land, we've got a little bit of artwork here in a path. Now, That goes to an indoor show building at the back. I have no idea what that is going to be. It could be Kung Fu Panda. There's a Kung Fu Panda land in Universal Studios Beijing. There's speculation that Universal got the rights to Lord of the Rings for a theme park use. Zelda, Nintendo, something like that, right? They haven't really... That part of the concept art isn't fleshed out, and it's an inside building as well, so we can't really speculate too much on that. Up on the top, you've got the Waterworld auditorium, stadium, let's say. Whether it'll be Waterworld or not, I don't know. Waterworld is iconic through the Universal parks. It's been in Universal Studios Hollywood for many, many years. It's in Japan, it's in Beijing. So they could transport that here. My thought on it is it's a bit tricky because we're a seasonal theme park country, and Waterworld, being based in the water, will be tricky to perform over the winter months. So that'll be interesting to see what they come up with and whether that does stick around. Next up, we've got what I believe to be Jurassic World. Okay, so we've got a roller coaster there that goes over the lagoon slightly, which looks really cool. You're going into Jurassic World, and I think we've got the shops, the restaurants, the cafes, and things like that. And then as we sort of move through the land, we've got what I think is going to be Jurassic World Adventure, which is a clone of the one in Universal Studios Beijing. That's an indoor ride. It is so technologically advanced. If you haven't seen our videos on Universal Studios Beijing, go and check it out. I'll put a link up in the top corner to that one. It is absolutely incredible. It's one of the best rides I have ever ridden, and if we get that so close to home, I'm all for it. Okay, we've got an interesting thing here to the left-hand side of the show building. We've got what looks like 2 drop towers. So are we getting kind of a Doctor Doom clone here? I'm not 100% sure. But another flat ride, another couple of flat rides there as well. So we've got a roller coaster in Jurassic World, and we've got the indoor dark ride and possibly a few flat rides. Now, next up here, you've got a bit of an indoor show building and then an outdoor roller coaster. So we're making our way around. We're on the left-hand side of the concept art at the moment. You've got the sort of C-shaped show building in the image. The roller coaster launches outside into a big spike, into a big top hat. I'm not 100% sure. It's like the concept art makes it look a little bit funky. But it launches from inside the building and it goes back inside the building. So that might be how they're getting around some of the weather constraints here in the UK to really still operate this park as a full year-round park. And then you've got the C-shaped building there. That's probably going to be queue. It's probably going to be facade as well. I'm not sure what the theme of it could be. Universal do own the rights to Back to the Future, so that could be an interesting one for them to do. And I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Back to the Future make its way back into the Universal parks. And then finally, we've got a little land down the bottom, just past the, let's call it the Back to the Future land, let's call it that. Just past the Back to the Future land and near the hotel, and that's like a little flat ride area. So you've got a couple of carousels there, you've got teacups, you know, so that might be like a Trolls land or something like that, maybe a SpongeBob SquarePants land. But that's pretty much the concept art as a whole. So we've got Minion Land, we've got Jurassic World, we've got what could be a Back to the Future one, we've got a little Trolls one there, we've got one that we can't really figure out up in the top corner. So we've got a handful of full-fledged land, and then we've got some other bits and pieces around there as well. So what is really interesting about this concept art is there doesn't look to be any Harry Potter on there, any of the Wizarding World. So we don't have Hogsmeade, we don't have Diagon Alley, We do have that area at the back of the park, which we can't quite figure out what it is. We also don't have any Super Nintendo World either, so it's really interesting to see what kind of properties they've chosen to go with in this park. I believe part of the reason for the Harry Potter is due to the proximity of the Harry Potter studio tour, the Warner Brothers studio tour in Watford. That might be a reason they're not technically allowed to do it, basically. Super Nintendo World, it would be speculation to say, but I believe that may be down to not wanting to cannibalize part of Universal Orlando. Universal Orlando historically has a lot of UK tourists visiting it as their destination of choice. So I think that might be the reason for that. So it'll be interesting to see as time goes on and we see construction ramp up, to see what kind of properties we have in place. We've got some interesting stuff going on. What they've said is this theme park will start construction in 2026. So we've got a year or so until the construction starts. And a couple of weeks ago, we took a trip up to Kempston Hardwick and took a look at what the construction site looks like right now. So I'll put a little bit of footage in so you can see what that looks like. It's only a few seconds long. They do have fencing up all around, but this is what the land that Universal has acquired looks like as of today. So it'll be interesting to follow the development of this over the next few years. They've stated that the park will open in 2031. So from construction start until park open, we've got 5 years. Generally speaking, Universal's pretty good with that. They got Epic ready in around about 7 years, but there was COVID in the middle there. So that caused a few construction delays where they just paused construction because of the pandemic. They've also currently got a lot going on as well. They've got the Universal Horror Unleashed over in Las Vegas. That's a year-round Halloween Horror Nights experience where they've got 4 houses. And then they've also got Universal's Kids Resort over in Frisco, Texas as well, which is due to open in 2026 or 2027, I believe. So we've got a lot going on with Universal. The fact that they've chosen to build their next world-renowned theme park here in the UK is fantastic. They are working with the UK government to bring this to reality. They have also sent this letter out to residents in the area, and I'm going to read it verbatim for you so you can see that. It says, "Dear neighbour, following more than a year of feasibility, due diligence and close engagement with local and national stakeholders, as well as members of the local surrounding communities, Universal Destinations and Experiences, a unit of Comcast NBC Universal, announced today it intends to build and operate the company's first ever Universal branded theme park and resort in the United Kingdom, located here in Bedford, pending planning consent approvals." So they are working with the government to get that approval put through as soon as possible. It is in the government's interest to get that approved sooner rather than later. This isn't a political channel, but the Labour government need a couple of wins at this point. Obviously, with the changes to taxes for various communities, they need a win. And if they can get this approved and they can get it sorted so that they bring thousands of jobs to the UK, that's a win for them. And this will be basically before the next election. This will be during the next election cycle as well. So they're going to be wanting to keep on top of this. The proposed plans include an entertainment resort complex with a world-class theme park with several themed lands featuring Universal's distinct brand of immersive storytelling, thrilling rides, innovative attractions, and exciting entertainment. Initial resort plans also feature a 500-room hotel and a retail, dining, and entertainment complex. It will be the first Universal branded theme park in the UK and Europe. So what they're saying there is they will have essentially the theme park, the hotel that we mentioned, and they will have a miniature city walk that's not shown on the concept art, really. This development will have a transformative impact on Bedford and the UK economy. It It will be a major contributor to the creative arts and tourism industries, generating nearly £50 billion of economic benefit for the UK and creating thousands of new, high-quality jobs. At opening, the theme park would be one of the largest employers in the region, with approximately 80% of employees expected to come from Bedford, Central Bedfordshire, Luton and Milton Keynes, with many more communities benefiting from apprenticeships, training and educational opportunities. Another caveat on that, what they've done recently, the UK government, the Labour government here, has stated that they've given planning permission to Luton Airport to expand and launch a new terminal. That will be done probably in conjunction with the planning permission here for Universal Studios Great Britain to really strengthen up the transportation links to this area. Okay, there's more on that in the next paragraph. The project, with strong support from the national and local government, National Highways and Network Rail, will also help unlock several long-standing local transportation upgrades. This includes the expanded construction of Wixham's railway station, direct slip roads from the A421 to accommodate road traffic, and an upgraded Manor Road, in addition to improvements to the active travel network. The response to the project has been very positive, with thousands of local residents participating in our engagement period last year, and 92% expressing their support. So they've got support from local residents, they've got support from local government. They need to get the planning permission, but they've said, we're going to go ahead so long as the planning permission comes, okay? Next steps are lined out here in this letter to the local residents. A planning proposal will be submitted to the government in the months ahead, with a projected construction start date in 2026, subject to the relevant planning approval. Additional news will be shared on the project's website, universalukproject.co.uk, and local residents will be kept abreast of the status of the project's planning proposal. On behalf of the company, we sincerely appreciate the widespread support and enthusiasm for this project, and we look forward to the next steps in the months ahead. Yours sincerely, Universal Destinations and Experiences. So it's quite interesting. We've got some big news coming out of the UK at the moment, and we're really excited to get this underway. Like I said, Universal's got a lot going on. They've got Epic Universe opening very soon, and we will be over there for previews in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be back there for opening day on May 22nd. They've also got the horror and the Universal Horror Experience in Las Vegas. They've got the Kids Resort in Frisco, Texas. They're expanding in Japan. They're expanding in Beijing. They're expanding in Hollywood. Universal's really giving these theme park companies a run for their money. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the Merlin entertainment parks here in the UK. They've essentially been given a heads up that there's going to be competition in the area in 2031. It'll be interesting to see if Merlin take that heads up and run with it, or whether they squander the lead that they've got currently. Merlin currently operate Chesington, Thorpe Park, Legoland and Alton Towers as theme parks, as well as Madame Tussauds and Sea Life, and a number of other attractions here in the UK. It'll be interesting to see if there is increased investment due to the threat of Universal coming here to the UK, and we'll see what that brings to the theme park community as a whole. We can only win out of this as a consumer. Whilst it will cost us money, we can only win. We can only have a better experience. So hopefully it's given you a good idea as to what is happening here in the UK with Universal's Destinations and Experiences and Universal Studios Great Britain. If you have enjoyed the video, do stick around, because we'll be doing more of these kind of videos in the future, and we will keep on top of the construction here in the UK. If you have enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. Do appreciate it. It really does help us out a lot. It'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks.